This is the Urban Debate 360 on Magic Bricks Now. I'm Faye D'Souza. On 360, we line up all of the news that affects you in a civic point of view in your city and affects the quality of your life. Let's take a look at the headlines today. Citizens unite against the Bangalore demolition drive. Over 500 citizens will assemble in the town hall this Saturday to agitate against the civic body BBMP's drive that left several families without a roof. Magic Bricks now kicks off a mega campaign to make our cities safe for women. Find out if women feel safe in India's mega cities. Cheer for citizens of Pune. The city is all set to adopt a pedestrian-friendly development plan. The city will flaunt wider footpaths and skywalks soon. Well, starting with our continued focus, the citizens of Bangalore will unite at the town hall on Saturday, the 27th of August. Residents will agitate and discuss the legal options they have for compensation and their demand that the BBMP name big builders and malls which have encroached on stormwater drains. We're joined right now by Sridhar Pabishetty of Nama Bangalore Foundation on the phone line. Sridhar, tell us more about the gathering of citizens that's being planned this Saturday, and tell us what's going to be discussed.
Good evening, Fai. The key point that we have to focus, all Bangaloreans are asking today is what is happening? Is the law equal for everybody or not? And that's some of the big questions that are going to be discussed on Saturday. We are joined by eminent panel, which includes freedom fighter Doreswamy and other luminaries, including Mr. V. Balasubramaniam, who has been on your show, an additional Chief Secretary of Government of Karnataka, Mr. A.T. Ramaswamy, and also Sachin Puvai, who is a senior lawyer, and finally Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar. So it's going to be a star-studded panel which is going to look at all these issues in a holistic manner and make sure that justice prevails. And it's not selective, it's not in a discriminatory fashion.
But Sridhar, on this show, you've been on the show as well, and we've made a couple of demands of the government. We demanded compensation for residents who've been law-abiding, who've paid their taxes, and whose homes actually match the plans that were approved by the BBMP. We've demanded also that the BBMP treat all offenders equally, whether those are large multi-story apartments or small homeowners. Is that also the demand that you're going to be making on Saturday? And have you received any word from the BBMP of whether or not they will send a representative to give their point of view?
Well, we haven't heard back, but most importantly, the focus was on getting citizens' point of view, so we have not even invited BBMP yet. So what's important is for us to get the real picture out, and that's going to follow in the next due course. And importantly, the justice should be done for everybody.
All right, Sridhar, many thanks for joining us on the Urban Debate here, 360. The focus really for citizens of Bangalore now will be to ensure that the BBMP is being fair. Remember, the High Court in a particular case against the BBMP 2 days ago said the BBMP should not be demolishing something unless it is outside of the approved plan. First cancel the approved plan, then begin demolition. Now, this was in the case of a large developer. What happens to the homes that you're looking at right now? Did the BBMP go through every plan to make sure that these were illegal and not approved? Had these people not gotten their approvals? This is all accountability that we're going to demand from the government. We'll bring you latest on that story as and when it happens. We're on to Mumbai's latest taxi war. The Bombay High Court has directed the state to make sufficient arrangements for citizens during the upcoming taxi and auto rickshaw strike. Remember, that's slated to happen on the 29th of August. The High Court bench of Chief Justice Manjula Chelur and Justice Mahesh Sunak have said that the unions must take permission from the concerned authorities and the police before conducting a strike. They've also added that since an open declaration of strike by this time, the state administration should make all arrangements to meet the situation so that normal life of citizens do not come to a standstill. This order came while the bench was hearing a PIL filed by a lawyer, Praveen Upadhyay, who said that the life of a common man would be thrown out of gear, as he rightfully it was true, if the state does not take action. Well, moving on, every 2 minutes, and this is our focus today, there is a crime against a woman in India. Incidents of crimes like rape, abduction, molestation, eve-teasing have doubled in the last 10 years. This is every woman's worst nightmare. This is a nightmare that we live with on a daily basis. Alarming as these numbers are, from India's spend analysis of data of the National Crimes Record Bureau, majority of the crimes go unreported. And a majority of the reported crimes are being committed by a close family member, either a husband or relatives. Is there no place, really, for women to be safe in our cities? If you're wondering why I'm telling you this tonight, is because as women and as citizens, it is our right to demand a safe and secure existence in our cities. On Magic Bricks now, we're going to kick off a campaign to make our cities safer for women. We first decided to do a ground check. I asked all of my reporters to go out into the ground, speak to women in all of our cities and find out what they think. Obviously, we had to start with Delhi. Deepa Rana sent us this report.
Women's safety has become one of the major concerns when it comes to the national capital. I'm standing on the Dhaulakua-Mahipalpur stretch. This is one of the most important roads when it comes to the national capital, as it is an intersection and interchange point to various places. It is attached to Dwarka as well as Sona and Manesar. This road also leads to Noida as well as to the airport and South Delhi areas as well. Now, in fact, a lot of people are traveling. There's a fast-moving traffic over here. But as you see, there are no auto rickshaws as well as buses plying on this road, which leads to very little options for a woman to travel in case if she's not having her own personal conveyance. In fact, this road also lacks any sort of police patrolling or any sort of security apparatus in place, even though this particular road has been witness to various assault cases in the past as well. I would ask my camera person to pan a bit. Over here, as you see, there are lights over here, but there is no lights over here. There are no CCTV footage or cameras which were promised by the Arvind Kejriwal government. In fact, though we have been asking a lot of women over here how safe are they feeling in the national capital, but it remains to be seen whether the authorities are going to take any action or not on ground. As promised by the Arvind Kejriwal government, there are no cameras at all. There are no auto rickshaws over here. And in fact, even if you talk about the center and the police, there is no police on this road. There are not even patrolling vans on this road. And there are not even a police station nearby where you can go and complain in moments of distress. This is Deepa Rana reporting for Magic Bricks now in New Delhi.
According to the issues that has been hearing by people, I think sometimes, I do feel insecure.
For women, I think we ourselves can save ourselves. I don't think so. We are dependent on cameras or anything. We are dependent on ourselves.
There's no security wise also, there is nothing which is increased. Whatever the Delhi government is saying, it's all, from my side, it's fake. They are just faking it out.
I want to remind our viewers that the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi was voted to power because they made a promise to keep Delhi safe for women. They made a promise to prioritize women, to add 10,000 CCTV cameras to Delhi and to put in a special cell of the police that will work for women. Neither of those things have been done. Moving on to the IT capital of Bangalore. Do women feel safe in Bangalore?
There are a lot of things that comes in mind. I don't feel 100% safe, of course, but I really feel that compared to other cities, this city is really welcoming.
See, I have been staying here for almost a decade now, and I think it's a safe city. People are also good.
Pretty safe for women, but there are sometimes I feel unsafe when there are just too many people around and people staring at you.
Women are very comfortable to travel and there is absolutely no problem. We have no fear of any kind for any lady to travel, as far as it is, that they are in their own borders.
But as we report increasing crimes in India, we also spoke to women in Mumbai. Mumbai enjoys a reputation of being relatively safer for women. Let's find out what the women think. My colleague Disha Shah has this report.
When we talk about the financial capital, Mumbai, women in this city told Magic Bricks now that they feel a lot more safer, compared to other metros like Delhi and Bengaluru for that matter. When we caught up with them, they in fact spoke in favor of the city, and they tell us that a lot has been changed on the ground over the past 2 years when it comes to women's safety across the city. In fact, let's not forget that it was just 2 years ago that then Chief Minister Prithviraj Chauhan had drafted certain recommendations and had asked the state government and BMC to implement all those recommendations recommendations on ground. In fact, when we spoke to the BMP officials, they tell us that not, full, not 100% has been implemented, but at least 40% of the recommendations has been implemented on ground when we talk about women's safety issues. For instance, having, a woman police constable at each and every ladies compartment post 9 p.m. is one that, the government has implemented. In fact, not only that, having a police constable present even at police station when any woman comes and, complains or files an FIR. And for even public toilets for that matter, women tell us that they are now better, improved than how it was 2 years ago. They tell us that 2 years ago there were broken windows, the toilets were not lit, but now this is not the case anymore. In fact, when we talk about the street lighting across the city, they tell us that now streets are better lit, and of course there are also CCTV cameras, installed in a few areas across the city. So in fact, women feel that they are a lot more safer in Mumbai and they can travel any time during the day and even night for that matter. In fact, I also caught up with few women across the city listening to what they had to say.
In railway compartments of ladies, there are always a lady inspector or somebody is there. So that is, I feel Mumbai is safe comparatively.
मैं बॉम्बे में ट्रैवल करती हूँ, मुझे सेफ लगता है, दिल्ली से अच्छा है.
So I have been traveling a lot even at night in public transport, and I feel it's quite safe in Bombay.
Mumbai is much safer than any other city, I can say.
Number of crimes being reported against women have doubled in the last decade. The data that I'm looking at from the National Crimes Record Bureau says 2.24 million. Somehow, despite promises, none of our governments have managed to solve the problem or even make one step towards solving that problem.
See, of course, and everybody will agree that more needs to be done. Like cities should have eyes, we should have CCTV cameras, but we should also look at the positive side. Maybe for the first time a PM in the Red Fort said we have to have a perspective change. We have to start with the boys. You have to take care of the ethical education for the boys rather than chaining the women. We need guys to be gender sensitive, ethically
Has the education HRD department included anything in education for young boys that changes the way they're being educated? Rahul Ishwar making a statement on an Independence Day. While I accept that statement wholeheartedly as a citizen of this country, let's talk about actual work on the ground. Has there been a change in the syllabus of schools to include any sort of mindset change for young boys from the HRD department, from the ministry?
No.
There hasn't.
There's no sex ed either.
From my understanding, HRD department has initiated the process.
No,
of course,
no.
Government process
You
may
ask
take more
more
of the time.
questions, we'll tell you
that
no,
we intend
because
to
it's
India,
not there.
everything is snail slow. We have intense
Rahul
stretchable
Ishwar,
time.
there's been
But
no
having
such
said that,
thing.
the policy change is there.
People tease you and go. You cannot take a rickshaw or an Uber and get back safe at home. There is harassment at every level, and I think that is very deeply psychologically rooted. And there is harassment in office, there is harassment if you're doing a project, there is harassment. You don't know where you're going to face sexual harassment.
We need to have a very strong, proper upbringing of the boys right from the childhood.
Even girls.
Yes, definitely, well taken. See, what Rahul has been saying, I also agree with it fully, and we were discussing that we have also been canvassing that boys from the young age should be imbibed with the idea of Purusharth, that they are supposed to respect women, take care of the woman, not hit women, not demand dowry, and become the protector.
That is what it is, masculinity.
So that
That's
particular
what it
upbringing
is.
should be there in our education system and also in a family everywhere. So what happens is ultimately
boys should be told that they are criminals. If they do this, that it is a crime.
And
no,
that it is a crime.
You cannot have a negative propaganda in the society.
If you hit a woman, it is a crime.
Yes, of course.
If you bother a woman, if you eve-tease a woman, if you grope a woman, it is a crime. That is what we should be teaching them.
Articulating in proper words, boys should be basically given the role model of being a hero or protector of a woman.
Nobody wants boys to protect us. Let me make this very clear. I don't need a man to protect me.
We don't want protectors. Listen to me. That's what I was going to say. When he said Purusharth, can I say something here for a second?
Apart from the crimes which we are talking about just now in the channel,
I know
there are many more crimes.
They propagate.
Domestic violence is a very big crime.
They want boys to be protecting girls. We don't think we need protectors. What we need is the people who respect women.
Madam, you are unnecessarily debating the topic. Here we are supporting the cause of the woman and giving a total respect. Unnecessarily you are debating the topic.
The other person as an equal citizen of this country.
Do
we need to teach boys
protectors and
to protect us?
Problems.
Come on, you are diverting the entire issue.
I think Purusharth is
what
the
I have
wrong
been trying to say is
concept.
on a very good
totally
faith and
unacceptable and we have
But
to
it is so
reject that
condescending in its
completely.
tone.
You are
No,
totally
nothing of that
wrong
sort.
in
Condescending.
We
propagating
are
what
very
you are
clear
propagating at the
that
moment.
right from the childhood, the upbringing should be very clear to the boys.
Don't think
Nobody disagree with these points.
No. Constitution is guaranteeing gender neutral laws. Where is the gender neutral laws? There is a sort of a prejudice against men.
How can you ask,
men are rapists? That's
Mr. Kumar, how can you ask for equality in a country where women are not represented in parliament? How can you ask for equality in a country where there is constantly crime
Along
against
with
women?
gender neutral laws, we need gender sensitive laws.
Explain to me the comment of boys. How do you justify that?
When you don't arrest, when you don't investigate, when you don't deliver justice, then you are promoting rape. That's what you are doing. Can I tell you why when how state is promoting rape?
When we have an equal sex ratio in this country, then we can use words like diversity
No,
and
these are
neutrality.
paradigms. These are templates.
I think as men, you need to
these
stop,
are templates so that
getting
people can
offended
understand.
by the fact that men are raping women and take onus. Sadly, the onus of safety is on us women.
Well, of course, the battle for a safer environment for women in our cities will continue, and I promise that on this channel we will front that battle and talk about it as much as we can, because talking about these issues is the first step towards solving them. Let's also take a very quick look at all of the other stories that affect you from a civic point of view and impact your quality of life. My colleague Suesha is standing by with all of the stories. Suesha?
That's right. The BMC will plant 15,000 trees this monsoon to enhance the city's green cover. It informed the Bombay High Court on Tuesday. The BMC's affidavit filed in reply to a public interest litigation by a Kandivali resident said that it is taking every possible step to enhance greenery in the city. The corporation also said that it has distributed over 12,000 saplings to citizens, societies and organizations. In Bengaluru, passengers travelling in Rajahamsa, Eravat and multi-axle services of Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation in the route Bengaluru-Mysuru will have to pay lower fares from August 21st to October 5th. The bus fare, which has been reduced on a trial basis, will be brought down in the range of 10 rupees to 50 rupees per person depending on the service. Also in Kolkata, the Housing Infrastructure Development Corporation or HIDCO authorities are planning to install smart poles in New Town in Kolkata. The poles will hold LED lights, CCTV cameras, traffic sensors, distress buttons and air pollution monitoring gadgets. Sources tell us that the officials of the corporation will hold a meeting with the traffic police this week to discuss the plans. And finally, from Hyderabad, sanitation workers in Hyderabad took to the streets on Wednesday demanding immediate payment of dues that were endlessly held by the government. While the Chief Minister and municipal officials have claimed the credit for good sanitation facilities provided at the Ghats and Pushkar Nagars during Krishna Pushkarmas, a 12-day-long festival, workers came forward saying that they did not want any credit but demanded their wages. Officials maintained that they have not withheld money and said that the dues will be cleared at the earliest.
Let's take a look at headlines coming in from across the nation. Several parts of North India, including Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, are reeling under catastrophic floods, with major rivers flowing above the danger mark. Close to 10 have been feared dead in Uttar Pradesh, while 8.7 lakh people have been displaced in 987 villages from 28 districts. The NDRF teams have been sent to Varanasi, Allahabad, Ghazipur and Balaila. In Bihar, the picture thus far is even worse, with the release of water from Nepal, which has worsened the situation, taking the death toll close to 29, displacing 30 lakh people. Parts of Bihar have been severely affected by floods, with several areas inundated. The RJD chief Lalu Yadav had enough time to take a jibe at the BJP during a visit to the flood-hit areas of Fatula and Bakhtairapur in Patna. Lalu said the people of Bihar are very fortunate to have the river Ganga reach their doorsteps. When cornered by the media over the insensitive statement, Lalu said the floods were a divine calamity and the state government was doing its best in assisting people in flood-hit areas to restore normal life. A tribal man in Kalahandi in Orissa carried his wife's body on his shoulders for over 10 kilometers as he had no money for a hearse van and the district hospital authorities allegedly refused to arrange for one. Tana Maji's wife, who was suffering from tuberculosis, died early on Wednesday morning, left with little money. Maji requested hospital authorities to arrange for a vehicle to transport the body, but was denied any help. A unified payment interface, so UPI, goes live in the next 24 hours for customers of 21 banks. This is basically an app that allows you to make and receive payments across different banks and payment platforms. Let me just explain to you what this actually means. Now, right now, if you want to make a payment without cash, you need to use a card and a machine where you swipe that card, which means that those payments can only be made at merchants or at shops that have the machine. This new app will allow you to transfer and make payments at shops that don't have the machine, because that machine involves a certain amount of investment that needs to be made. So your Kirana store, for example, when you go to buy vegetables, if you have the app and the seller has the app, you can actually make a payment without using a card or the swipe machine. Now, to know more about how this is going to impact us, Suvesha Sawant caught up with the founder of CitrusPay.com, Jitendra Gupta. Listen in.
Thank you so much for joining us on Magic Bricks Now. Firstly, congratulations. And tell us, how does UPI exactly work?
So in UPI, the sender creates a handle and then he can use his handle to send money on receiver's handle. So it's like your Twitter handle, which is like @Suvesha, @Jiten. So you can create that handle and then send money and just authorize through your mobile PIN, and it's simply money is transferred real time.
But as simple as it's sounding, I'd like to understand if somebody has a Paytm app or an ICICI wallet or something like that on the phone, how does this work differently?
So in, let's say, any wallet or any bank app today, you need to load money first into the wallet, and then you have ability to send money to other party. In this, money remains into your bank account. You don't need to load money anywhere. You can simply use your bank account in a simpler manner to send or exchange money with each other.
So basically what you're trying to say is it's real time and it's instant.
Right.
One doesn't need to do anything. Just simply transfer the money.
Simpler.
Are you trying to say that all these other wallets or Paytm, for example, does it lose its relevance in any way with this coming about?
So how I see wallet is an experience today for consumer, which is a simpler way of transacting. So it's just that the hassle today in any wallet company is the loading money into the wallet. So I think if you can combine the experience and the money movement, then it will be a great experience for the consumer. Now it has to be seen how wallet companies shape up in terms of combining both two. Citrus as a company is working on combining both and making the experience more simpler for consumers to exchange money.
So do I need to pay something to be able to download this app? Is it chargeable?
No, it's absolutely free of cost.
All right, that's a wrap on the Urban Debate 360. Thank you for watching. Stay with Magic Bricks Now as we take up issues that affect you in our cities. Our contact details are on your screen. You can reach me personally on Twitter. It'll be my pleasure to hear from you. Good night.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.